Welcome back to Cagliari for the Region of Sardinia trophy on Audi MedCup TV. Well, what a day we've had in Cagliari today. It's a spectacular venue. We keep coming back here 4 years in a row. The Audi MedCup has been back and it keeps on delivering fantastic conditions. Today was very frustrating indeed. We only had 6 to 9 knots and waited a long time out on the water to get started. But when we did, 2 teams returned to the dock with very wide smiles on their faces, and they were Audi sailing team powered by All For One, and Stefan Kandler, the CEO of Audi All For One, joins us to have a chat about the TP52 fleet today. And the local team 22 from Sardinia had a win today in the Soto 40 fleet, and boy were they excited out on the water. Mario Flores from 22 joins us. Mario, how excited were you out on the water? You guys were absolutely thrilled, weren't you?
Very excited. We took the boat for the first time on Sunday. We tried it Monday, and then for us, yesterday was not so good, but for us today to actually win was wow.
Yeah.
Something incredible.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to show you those pictures, that moment of elation very shortly. But before we get started, it was a very long and frustrating day out on the water today. We were waiting around for about 4 hours for racing to get going. The Mistral died away earlier in the day, so it was scorching hot, especially for the teams waiting out there and the official judges as well. It's been a long day out on the water, waiting around for them, waiting to get started, and the heat of the day. We're going to show you now a little package on what it takes exactly to be a judge out on the water. A new concept introduced to the Audi MedCup this year is the instant jury. Some battles in the TP52 and Soto 40 fleet can get intense and require judges and referees to make decisions from what they can see on the water. There are 3 jury boats with red J-marked flags. Judges indicate any penalties on the water by raising a coloured flag. Green and white indicate play on, red a penalty turn, and black disqualified.
Last year, I don't know if you remember, in Barcelona we had a 2-hour protest on the last day, and it ruined the prize giving, it ruined the media work. So this way we could decide that on the water, and at the end of the race we have the final results.
Protest!
The concept was derived from the Olympic Games. It's effective and it's quick, so racing begins and ends on the water. So after a lot of waiting around today, we finally got some racing underway. Here are the highlights of the TP52 and Soto 40 fleet racing.
After a wait of 4 hours, the 2 fleets on Friday got a thermal breeze, and it settled eventually to make racing viable. When racing did finally get underway, there were many nervous moments for the afterguard as they made their final choice of the side of the course they preferred. When the start came, the TP52, it was Audi Azura and Synergy that made the early running on the left-hand side of the course. Audi overnight leader Audi All For One started on the left, but were not in the best position to comfortably sail away upwind and decided to cut their losses, tack and sail behind the fleet, head out to the right-hand side of the course. This proved to be either masterful or lucky or both, as the Franco-German team sailed into strong lead, rounded the top mark with a comfortable margin ahead of Bribon, and the pair were never seriously threatened again. The Soto 40s started 10 minutes later. Such was the fight for the right side of the course that the fleet all positioned themselves to make their final approach on the committee boat. Right from a minute before the start signal, it became clear that the local crew on 22 Sardinia were going to be able to lock out the other 3 boats above the ley line. And when the gun went, they were the only boat moving fast and basically started the race with a 5-boat length advantage. The novice team sailed intelligently, and even though they were seriously threatened by Iberdrola on the last run, they kept their cool and won the race. In the TP52s, it was Audi All For One again that won the race, consolidating their position at the top of the leaderboard. The celebrations on 22, having won their first race, was something to behold.
Fantastic on 22 Sardinia racing team there. They were so excited to get that win today. The two Spanish teams do still top the leaderboard, but I'm sure 22 Sardinia will be fighting hard to make their way up the leaderboard for the rest of the week. In the TP52 fleet, Audi All For One on top of the leaderboard, Quantum Racing and Synergy followed on behind. Container were the ones that dropped away today. They dropped from second down to fifth place. Audi All For One managed to stretch their lead to 6 points. That's quite sizable leading into the last couple of days. Stefan, can we just talk about the race today, because I'm not sure if you've had much of a chance to talk to the guys about what happened. Can you tell us a little bit about that decisive first beat there and what happened?
Well, I think we had an average start, and some other boats, I think we wanted to go on the left, but we decided very early to tack and take the advantage of sailing maybe a little bit alone, and I think we were quite lucky as well that on the right side it paid a lot. But that's part of the game, and we were quite happy and had a significant advantage at the top mark, which we managed to keep all the way around.
When the guys came back in after the race, you can tell that they are really excited, but they're trying to be a little bit more reserved. They don't want to get too far ahead of themselves, but you can see in the way that they're a lot happier out there, aren't they, than how things were going in Marseille and Cagliari.
Yeah, for sure. You know, from where we come, I mean, the first two events we finished seventh, which was really frustrating, and we knew our value was better than that, and for sure we learned to be very cautious with our victories. I think the first 3 days of this racing is much better. We still are making some mistakes, but I think we proved to be solid. So it's encouraging, and that's why we are very cautious, because we want to keep this position until the end of the event, and we know it's still very long.
It's tricky out there though, isn't it? I mean, we saw in that VT there, I mean, it's flat water, really, really light conditions, and compare that to the day that we had on the first day when in the Mistral, and it was such fantastic racing. Can you talk a little bit about the conditions out there?
Yeah, we started with 22, 25 knots in the first day. I think we had over 20 knots on the second day, and today was a completely different game. So I think this is also the reason why we are quite proud to be there, because it was totally different conditions. We were under pressure because all the teams were very close, and we won that race, and I think it was a solid one, so that was good. But for sure Cagliari is always offering very nice surroundings first, and then the racing is interesting because the winds are very different.
And just a comment about the boat as well. I mean, what changes have you made to the boat? What's different about it? Why is it going faster?
It's a lot of things. I think after Marseille, as I said, we were quite confident that we changed the good things, especially the sails. So we worked hard between the events to try to think about it. The boat hasn't been changed because you cannot do that in such a short period. Yeah. But we worked hard on the sails. We have new sails that we use today, and I think it proved to be quite fast. We're still not 100% happy, to be honest, today. I think we were quite lucky as well, but it's part of this week. So we had so much bad luck in the first two events that we deserve, I think, a little bit of luck on this one.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Audi sailing team powered by All For One might have been a little bit reserved when they came back to the dock today, but 22 Sardinia was certainly not. You guys were... It was so fantastic to watch you out on the water. We had an on-board cameraman there catching every moment. Can you tell us what this win means to you guys?
Wow, it's a miracle just to be here, let alone win a race that when we took the boat that Nacho gave us on Sunday, and we just went out, trained a bit, and then to be here to win a race, it's just exceptional. We don't have any technological help because we don't have a tablet on board. It was just us. 6 of us are like under 23. I'm 22, and just 3 of our team are 60-year-olds. So this huge age gap that seems like a weakness, in reality is not. So that's something to be proud. And I mean, let's face it, we're Italians, so even if we jumped around or made a bit of fuss, it's part of our nature. So
well, I think you absolutely deserve that celebration. I mean, this is an America's Cup team that you guys just beat today. Well, former America's Cup team.
Yeah, we know Iberdrola is former America's Cup and former TP52, but it was exceptional. I mean, we saw you guys, or for one, after starting in the counter starter and going left, you tacked, you went right, you went under everybody, then you stick to your guns, you went right, Bribon went left, then you tacked again, and we saw that the right paid off. We expected a turn right, but we did not expect it would go that much right. So we said, okay, we're going right. So we started in the boat, we kept them in their place, we stayed well up, they could not make it, we started easily, and they were behind, and that was 60% of the race done. So Roberto was exceptional, and after that Lorenzo was very good in keeping everybody in his place. We lost a bit in the second and last near to the finish, but it was part of our tactic of control, just basic sailing.
Well, you were all exceptional out there today, so congratulations. Tomorrow we have up to 3 windward-leeward races for the Soto 40, so that will be very interesting. And an extra race tomorrow before the coastal race. We're going to try and get in another race, so we've got the full schedule of races by the end of the week. So another exciting day of racing on the cards, I'm sure, tomorrow. Join us back here at 12:55 CET on Audi MedCup TV. See you then.